Yeah, I was that guy who wandered aimlessly onto the Keynes property in 1977. Really, there's so many of you out here tonight who know me, know my brother, know my sister, but your real connection to the Christie family is not really through us, it's through my mother. And I mean, I would have never in a million years gone up that driveway. Like, you guys know how long that driveway was, right? First off, I would have never gone up that driveway. It was my mother who drove me up that driveway. And then I said, well, are you coming with me to the door? And she said, no, grow up, go to the door yourself. And I did. And really for me, to be here tonight to celebrate the 200th anniversary of this town and to be introduced by the person who first inspired me to think about public life is really to have my life come full circle. And so, you know, there's lots of things, Governor Byrne will tell you this and Governor Kane will tell you. As governor, you get invited to thousands of events across the state and around the country. And so, I'm sure you invited me to come to this, and I'm sure my office said no. Because they say no to almost everything, because they have to. Because there's only 365 days in a year and 24 hours a day. But you know the person who's responsible for getting me here. It's the only person who would actually just frontally go right at me after I invited her for breakfast to the governor's mansion and say, like, you have to be at this, Chris. And she could only do that because she handed me my high school diploma. Ellie Cohen, I know at that moment was channeling my mother. Because the guilt she was throwing at me for not being here could only have been a product of both her and my mother at the same time. And I told her, we'll work it out, I will definitely be here. So I'm thrilled to be here tonight, and thrilled to see all of you. As we were riding up here tonight, I did a town hall meeting this afternoon in Branchburg at Raritan Valley Community College. And it was getting to be about 5 o'clock there, and my staff was saying, like, one more question, and usually I just blow through that stop sign and take 3 or 4 more, but I told them I had to get here. And Governor DeFrancisco was actually there at the town hall meeting, and I said, listen, Governor Kane is waiting for me, and Governor Byrne is waiting for me in Livingston, and it's not going to be any excuse to tell them that I was with Governor DeFrancisco. So I have to be on time. Usually that might not be a bad excuse, I gotta be on time. And so as we were riding up here, I was riding with, now she was introduced as Deborah Gramiccioni, which is her married name, but nobody around here would know her as Deborah Gramiccioni, my Deputy Chief of Staff. Her real name in Livingston is Deborah Goldklang. And she's right up here with me with another one of my Deputy Chiefs of Staff who has the absolute misfortune of not being from Livingston. And he said to Deb and I, as we were riding up here, like, you people from Livingston, you're like crazy about being from Livingston. All I ever hear is that all these stories about Livingston. He said in the campaign in 2009, there was this whole organization called Lancers for Christie. And he said they came to headquarters every week, drank beer together, and eventually planned an event, but it took them about like 4 months to do it. But they just wanted to be together. That's what I'll tell you is one of the things that this town gave to me the most, was a set of lifelong friends, of people who to this day are still dear and close friends and who we really want to spend time with each other. We don't just do it because we feel obligated to. There is a spirit about this place that is difficult to describe if you haven't lived here. You know, if you're unfortunate enough, like Governor Byrne, you know, not to have come from Livingston, you don't understand this. Close, he was close, but not over the border. it's difficult to understand it and to explain it to other people, but I try to tell them stories about what it was like to grow up here. First off, I moved here when I was 5 because we lived in Newark, and my parents wanted me to go to school here. And so they borrowed $1,000 from my maternal grandmother and $1,000 from my paternal grandmother, and put a $2,000 down payment down on a house at 327 West Northfield Road, where I grew up. And I remember when we came here, my mother used to say all the time, because she was a lifelong Newarker, "Your father has moved me to the wilderness."